come with me and let's talk about Bergamot essential oil. Check it out. So we want to talk about Bergamot essential oil. So we put them over here in these I don't know if you can see, 1 ounce bottles, amber bottles, and we put a label on, and this label we make ourselves. The information is not our information. Obviously we go online, we find the information from certain different companies and different teachers, educators, right? But we make our own label. Now, the yellow label right here means that it's a citrus note, right? So if you go to Perfumer's World, right, they have this concept called the ABCs of Perfumery, and I really like that concept. What they do is they assign a fragrance or a note for each letter of the alphabet. So for example, this one right here would be C, and it stands for citrus. The secondary note would be L, which stands for linalool, right? And that's a whole nother scent. Now, this yellow color would be considered bergamot, citrus. If you come over here to the top, right here, the T will stand for a top note. So in perfumery, this would be considered a top note in perfumery. And why is that? It's because the amount of hours it lasts on a test strips is only 8 hours. So the smaller the number over here, the amount of hours on a test strip, the closer it is to being a top note. The longer the hours, the closer it is to being a base note, and mid-range would be considered middle notes, right? That's the longevity on a test strip. Now these percentages right here, these percentages mean that when you make perfumes and the total compound of the perfume, the total formula, the least amount you can put is 0.2%, mid-range would be 5%, and then the max inside of a perfume would be 25%. Bergamot has chemicals inside of it that kind of harms the skin, right? Especially if it's in the sun. So you want to get one that's kind of free from that, and this one is one of those free from that chemical that actually can harm the skin, right? It's very, I guess you can say it darkens the skin. You can kind of know the I forgot what it's called, FCC or what have you. Anyway, if you look it up, you'll see you want to make sure that that compound is free from the bergamot, so that way it doesn't affect the skin when you use it in perfumery. EO would stand for essential oil, right? And then you want to know what the notes are. Along the bottom would be the description of the notes. So we have citrus, woody, orangey, herbal, floral, fresh, what have you, right? Now citrus notes would be considered fresh. It makes you happy, makes you think about sunny, makes you feel alive, pleasant, right? It's that crispiness in the top of the note, usually used inside of like a younger male fragrances, right? So think about men from 20 to like 30, right? Something fresh and ambitious. This is the bergamot, right? If you come over here, Perfumer's World has something called an odor impact, and this is a 110. Now, all that means is that when you first smell it, how strong and how fast that smell hits the nose, right? The impact of that smell. And they say like if you go like 120 or less on that odor impact, it'll be ideal to blend fragrances. So bergamot is a great blender, right? So what you can do is it'll help blend like the middle note and base note when you add bergamot. Another one would be linalool, right? If you come here, these ones, citrus 60%, that's the smell that's inside of it. Herbal would be 5%, linalool would be 35%. And this just shows you how the fragrances are broken down. And then along the bottom, it blends well with geranium, lavender, ylang ylang, and so on, right? So this would be bergamot essential oil. And this is really high class stuff, really quality stuff. And this is going to be used for fine fragrance making, fine perfumery. Find it here at mybeholder.com. Check it out.